Welcome to Regulate and Rewire, an anxiety and depression podcast where we discuss the things I wish someone would have taught me earlier in my healing journey. I'm your host, Amanda Armstrong, and I'll be sharing my steps, my missteps, client experiences, and tangible research-based tools to help you regulate your nervous system, rewire your mind, and reclaim your life. Thanks for being here. Now let's dive in. Hey friend, welcome back. If you are somebody who finds your mind racing before your feet hit the floor, maybe you've done therapy, you've read the books, you feel like something's missing, or better yet, maybe you're somebody who tunes into this podcast regularly and you've sometimes had the thought of, I wish I had a space where I could actually learn how to apply this stuff, or a place where I could ask Amanda a follow-up question on this episode. Or maybe even you've looked into my Restore one-on-one coaching program and that investment, or for whatever reason, that wasn't the right fit for you, but it still resonated. Keep listening because this episode is for you. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on the Regulated Living membership because doors are open right now. So if you didn't know, I only open enrollment up 4 times a year. And I do this so that I can support all of our new members, their first month inside the membership, to have a really held and personalized experience. Now, before I continue, I also want to give some of you a complete out from this episode. If you already know that you are not at all interested in or curious about the membership, please go spend your time doing something else, and I will see you next week. You can completely opt out of listening to the rest of today's chat. But if you are curious about what it actually looks like to work with your nervous system in a real, grounded, human, and supported way, keep listening because that is what I'm talking about today. All things the membership, what it is, why I started it, where, when, and how we meet online, and ultimately who this membership is built for so that you can decide if it might have a place in your healing journey. Now, I want to start by sharing with you a message that I got a week or two ago from one of our members that honestly made me a little emotional. So this person sent me a DM inside our membership space that said, "Hey, Amanda, for the first time in years, I woke up and my first thought wasn't about what I was anxious about. It was about what I was looking forward to in the day. Thanks." Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Opening your eyes and feeling excited instead of anxious. No tension in your chest, no need to scan the room for what's wrong. That shift right there is why I do this work, because I remember when my first thoughts every morning were my running to-do list. I was scanning my body for what felt wrong, checking my anxiety levels like some kind of internal weather report. I spent so long already exhausted before my feet hit the floor. And maybe like me, you have tried therapy. You've tried medication, you've read all the books, followed the Instagram accounts, and you still feel like you are white knuckling your way through most days. And so before I talk about what's in the membership, when live calls are, answer all of our FAQs, I want to take a brief moment to just summarize some of our core beliefs with regulated living. And the number one is that you're not broken. You're probably not treatment resistant. Your symptoms make sense. This is the number one thing that happens for our clients, is that within the context of their past lived experiences, their current life circumstances, and this new awareness of how their nervous system works, they realize their symptoms make sense. And there's so much hope in that. And I will remind you until I am blue in the face that anxiety when you are under-rested or over-caffeinated isn't a disorder. It's actually physiological order. Depression when you have been chronically stressed or under-resourced isn't a disorder. It's order. Your body is doing exactly what it is designed to do, given the inputs that it is receiving or has received. And maybe up to this point, you have been trying to think your way out of a body problem, a nervous system problem. And this is why traditional approaches fall short for so many of us, because they treat the mind like it's separate from the body. They treat symptoms like they're the problem instead of signals of these underlying root causes. Now, in our Restore program, this is my one-on-one coaching program. This episode is about the membership, But I want to tell you something about this program first. In Restore, our clients see an average symptom reduction of 38% in just 16 weeks. 38%. And what I think is at the heart of that transformation, it's not more coping strategies, it's not more positive thinking. It is learning enough about how your nervous system actually works so that you can start working with it instead of feeling against it. It is understanding that your physiology sets the stage for your psychology. You literally cannot mindset your way out of dysregulation. And now I know not everyone can invest in one-on-one support right now. I get that. And I believe that everyone deserves access to this life-changing information and the support. That's at the heart of why this podcast is here. I've made good on my promise that there's no gatekeeping. There's nothing that I teach in one of my programs behind a paywall that I don't teach for free here on this podcast. What people join Restore or the Regulated Living membership for is putting this information into action in a personalized and supported way to varying degrees in their life. I created the Regulated Living membership to make that support even more accessible. And again, I only open up enrollment a few times a year because it is important to me that you have a supported start, that you feel seen and held right from the beginning. Most of the memberships that I've been a part of or the online courses I've signed up for, they throw you into the content. Basically, like, good luck. See you never. And I really wanted to do things differently. And so every new member starts with something called Course Club. This coming Monday, myself and all of the new members are going to begin Course Club together. So this is a 5-week small group experience where I walk you through our core healing modules, 1 module per week. So think book club, but for nervous system work. It is hands-on, it is paced, it is really personal. By the end of Course Club, most of our members say they feel lighter, they have made sense of their symptoms, they finally have a strategic, a tangible map for their healing journey. Now, how Course Club works is I say, okay, it's week 1, go watch module 1, and then come back to this post on the feed. And there are some prompts there. Hey, what impacted you the most from this module? I want to hear about it. What questions do you have for me? How can I help you personalize that information to you? And it is not uncommon for me to go through that comment section and to give you pretty detailed responses to point you towards other resources in the membership that are going to uniquely support you. I oftentimes send personal voice messages, sometimes 8 or 9 minutes long. Someone shared in the last group that it felt like they had a personal Amanda podcast in their pocket the whole month, because if you are showing up and you are engaging and you are asking, I am responding. So I want to give you a quick preview of what we cover in those core 4 modules. So week 1, module 1, we're talking about, surprise nobody, the nervous system. So in this, we talk about the different states, and you learn to understand anxiety and depression through a nervous system lens. You're also going to learn how to map your patterns and explore what safety versus threat feels like in your unique body system. Then module 2 is all things reactive resourcing. So what do we do when those hard moments hit? What are the tools that are the best fit for activation versus shutdown for different situations that you uniquely experience your symptoms in? So this is the module where I help you start to build out your personalized toolkit to respond when anxiety or overwhelm or shutdown show up in those moments that you need it most. Then module 3, we kind of take a step back, we zoom out, and this is where we explore your stress bucket. So this is where you learn to look at and assess the unique stress load on your nervous system, the current life circumstances and past life stressors that are keeping you stuck in survival mode. And this stress bucket for all of our clients really then becomes their unique roadmap towards long-term healing. When they do their stress bucket assessment for the first time, there is no more guessing as to why they feel the way they do. They look at that bucket and they're like, yep, that checks out. The next question becomes, okay, looking at that, what feels like a meaningful and accessible next step. Then module 4 is regulated living. This is where it all comes together, where you learn how to turn the insight that you've gained into action using behavior change science to build tiny, sustainable habits that support your nervous system. Because at the heart of a lot of this is the reality that if you aren't living well, you can't expect to feel well. And so at this point, this is where you start to take some supported action towards more regulated living. And then at the end of this 5-week onboarding experience process is a live new member call where I meet with you and help you orient to the full membership and all of its resources in a personalized way, because Course Club is just the beginning. And the membership beyond Course Club includes almost weekly support calls of a variety of flavors. We have a live coaching call. There is an anonymous Q&A, guided regulation sessions, pop-up community where there's no coaching. We're just there to do something creative and fun together, because that's often a forgotten part of the human experience and healing. You'll also find a new set of daily regulation and daily workouts. You hit play, you move with me, you regulate with me. And then there's a growing library of other educational videos, guided practice videos, depending on the state you find yourself in. And one of the things that carries us through the year inside the membership is our seasonal focus or our quarterly focus. So at the beginning of each season, we call them seasons, but I'll use quarter because I think especially people in the workplace, you're more familiar with that term. So at the beginning of each quarter, there is a really high value workshop with me where we have a learn and a do. The learn is always revisiting one of the course modules. So you in Course Club do one module per week. Then you get into the membership at large, and we revisit these modules one module per quarter. And so the first half of that workshop, we revisit that module. And then with our signature healing course, there is a workbook that you're going to get access to inside the membership. And what we do in those workshops is actually sit down together in a supported community container and do that. So we're going to map our nervous system together. We're going to assess our stress bucket together. We're going to go through that. And so every year that you are in the membership, you get to come revisit this and go deeper in this work and in your healing. And then the second half of that workshop is a do. We have 4 pillars of regulated living, 4 research-supported habits that we know support well-being. The health of your biological system is reflected in your mental health, your nervous system regulation. And the 4 things that we focus on throughout the year is we spend a quarter focusing on sleep, then movement, then nutrition. And then the last quarter, we focus on creating community and an environment around us that supports healing. And what I love about that is I get to get into the weeds of your life and help you decide, okay, what is the tiny habit? What is the 1% shift in that area of my life that would create a ripple effect? And again, week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, you are taking one small step at a time. You are moving into more regulated living, moving into your healing at a pace that is sustainable and creates long-lasting change. And then this membership provides that gentle accountability and those nudges that you need to not just know better, but to actually do better. And while the content in the membership is robust and impressive, if I do say so myself, and it's ever changing and ever growing in response to what my members need, honestly, for me, I think the magic is in the community. We have almost 100 members. You're immediately jumping into a community of people who get it, who do not need you to explain why you're anxious about being anxious. This is a group of people who are going to celebrate you when you set a boundary or take a nap without feeling guilty. And this isn't just a place where people vent. You can share your heart absolutely in this space and be held in that. But this is an active, moderated, trauma-informed space where healing can actually happen, where It's okay to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, 5 steps forward, 3 steps back, 10 steps forward, no steps back. Your pace is honored and supported and seen and held here. Now, let me talk about access because this is really important to me. We have a sliding scale or a tiered pricing model within the membership. You can pay $47 a month, $97 a month, or $127 a month. And the number one question I get asked is, well, what do I get differently depending on what I pay? And the answer is absolutely nothing. It is the exact same access to all of the live calls, the replays, the resources, regardless the price point you choose. So if you are somebody who has some additional means, you can choose our compassionate access price point at $127. And some of those extra funds get put in a scholarship account. Then we have our standard access at $79 a month. Then we have our supported access at $47 a month. Again, no questions asked. Choose the price point that best matches your financial situation and get the same access to everything. You also can cancel your membership at any time. It is month to month. I never want you to feel locked into a space that's supposed to support your healing. If this membership is no longer in service of your healing or your financial situation changes and you need to cancel your membership, again, no questions asked, no harm, no foul, and the doors are always open. We have many members who have come in and gone out as different seasons of their life or financial circumstances have shifted. Now, I want to quickly hit on a couple of our other FAQs, most frequently asked questions. So one of those is, when are the calls and what if I can't make them live? We have folks inside this membership across the globe. It would be impossible for me to pick a day and time that was going to work for everybody. So right now, live calls are most commonly Tuesdays at 1 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. That may need to change in the future, also based on my life and my availability. So yes, all calls are recorded. All calls are available for replay inside the membership for at least 3 months. And we have many of our members who access these calls exclusively through the replays and still let me know that they get a lot out of them. You also don't have to be on a live call to get your specific question answered. There is at least 1 call a month where you can pre-submit questions, pre-submit situations you want feedback on that I can touch on whether you're there or not. And you can get that during the replay. Another question I get asked or a worry that people express is that I won't have time to take advantage of all of it. I want to remind you that the goal here is regulation in your real life. Our tools, our support is designed to fit into your actual day, the moments in the car with your kids. And there's no such thing as falling behind. There's no such thing as needing to catch up. With this membership, you log in when you can and you get what you need. Also, there is not a single person inside this membership that is using all of the membership all at once. I often use a gym analogy. This should surprise none of you who've been listening to this podcast. There are a lot of gym analogies, but think about a gym, right? A typical gym has a variety of different resources to support you in improving your physical health, right? There's group classes, there's weights, there's cardio, there's personal training, there's a sauna, there's a pool. I have worked in many a gym settings. Nobody is ever doing all of the things. People have the same gym membership, but they use it very differently depending on their preferences, their fitness goals, and the membership acts in the same way. And that's why going through Course Club and then having that personal orientation can be really helpful, because I will help point you towards some of the things, some of the places, some of the practices that might best meet where you are in your healing journey. Then another question I get asked is, what is the difference between the membership and Restore, the one-on-one coaching program? And the biggest difference is really the level of personalization, the pace, and then most obviously the pricing. So in Restore, you are working directly with a dedicated practitioner every week and getting very customized, tailored support to your healing goals. You also, within Restore, have an opportunity to go deeper into some of the healing work that just, honestly, it just isn't always possible in a group setting. And so that program allows you a higher level of support, a higher level of customization. It also includes comprehensive lab work to look for any underlying physiological contributors to your symptoms. Then there's the membership. So the membership offers a more flexible group-based support system at a considerably lower price point. So you get access again to live group coaching calls, self-paced tools, education library, all of the things I've previously mentioned. And for many folks, that actually feels like the perfect fit for where they are in their healing journey. It's also been told to me that the membership is a really great accessory to one-on-one therapy work that some of these folks are doing. Also, it sometimes takes being in the membership for a few months for you to feel confident that this approach is right for you. We have a number of folks who go to the membership, go through Course Club, are there a few months, and then decide to do Restore. Then are like, you know what, this has been amazing, but I do need that level of depth and personalized support. And if that is something you ever decide to do, I will always credit you back the last 3 months of your membership fees towards your Restore program, if that's a direction that you choose to go. All right, coming back to the membership. At the end of the day, friend, when traditional methods of meds and talk therapy fell short for me in my healing journey, I was left thinking that maybe this is just the way that I am. Maybe I'm just an anxious person. Maybe I'm too broken to ever really heal. And for me, ultimately, that couldn't have been farther from the truth. But it wasn't until I understood anxiety and depression through a nervous system lens that things started to fall into place. It wasn't until I had some personalized support to reevaluate my life and my healing, and honestly, understanding my symptoms through this lens has changed the way that I do everything in my life. It has changed the way that I parent. It's changed the way that I partner. It's changed the way that I friend. It's changed the way that I run my business. And I have now made it my life's work to make sure that you don't have to spend as many years figuring it out on your own as I did. So here's my invitation. It's simple. Join us. Join me. Join us this week so that you can be part of Course Club starting on Monday. Join us so that you can finally stop feeling at war with your mind and body. Join us so that you can learn what it actually means to regulate your nervous system, reclaim your life, and maybe most importantly, join us so you can stop feeling so alone in your healing journey. The membership doors are open through Saturday at midnight, because then I spend Sunday packing up your new member welcome gifts. Because yes, even though it is an online membership, I hand make, hand pack, and ship something directly to your doorstep to welcome you into the membership. Then come Monday morning, you will find the post to kick off Course Club. Regulated living, what you need to know. Regulated living is not about quick fixes. It is about building awareness, habits, and capacity for your deeper healing work, for the life that you want to live, where your symptoms make sense, where you have tangible tools in the moments that you need it most, where your body begins to feel like home again. So if you are interested, in the show notes, you're going to find the link. Go read through that page. Check out the testimonials from our members, read through more of the FAQs, choose a pricing tier that works for you. And if it sounds like something you want, I'll see you inside. Now, here is a final recap. You've got to join by Saturday at midnight. Our Course Club starts Monday. You will get your welcome gift, your course access, and my personal welcome in. Then within 5 weeks, you will have tools, clarity, and most importantly, a community that has your back in your healing. And if you ever decide you want to go deeper with one-on-one support, you can always apply your last 3 months of payments towards the Restore program free. All right, friends, I hope that this has given you a clearer picture of what the regulated living membership really is. And if your body is whispering like this might be the thing, I would love to welcome you in. If you still have any lingering questions, please DM me, email me. I will answer personally. I hope to see you inside. And until then, I am sending hope and healing your way. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Regulate and Rewire podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review to help us get these powerful tools out to even more people who need them. And if you yourself are looking for more personalized support in applying what you've learned today, consider joining me inside Rise, my monthly mental health membership and nervous system healing space, or apply for our one-on-one anxiety and depression coaching program, Restore. I've shared a link for more information to both in the show notes. Again, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.